Hare Krishna. I was talking about the four types of anarthas that Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur explains. Maya mugdasya jivasya gneyo anarthas chaturvidah hriddaurbhalyam cha aparado asatrishna tattva vibhramaha. So we have discussed about we have discussed about the tattva vibhrama, about having bewilderment about our sadhana and sadhya, and also bewilderment about Swatattva Brahma, Paratattva Brahma. Then we discussed about Hridaya Daurbalyam yesterday. So Hridaya Daurbalyam, I told you, is out of this four very dangerous one, because it not only causes very deep-rooted material attachments, it causes spiritual weakness, and it causes envy for others who are prospering in spiritual life. And also it produces deceitfulness, kutinati, isn't it? It produces false pride. So many bad qualities come from that. So one may wonder, why should a spiritual practitioner suddenly develop such material attachments? These material attachments are more deep-rooted than material attractions also. Attraction is superficial. Attachment is much deeper. It is considered like a hridrogam. Hridrogam is actually heart disease, it is said. So, therefore, you will find in Srimad Bhagavatam many places the word used, Hridaya Roga. One of the verses is this one. Vikreditam bhajavado viridam cha vishnoho shraddhan vita anshuniyat atavarnayedya bhaktim param bhagavati pratilabhya kamam hridrogam ashu apahinoti achirena dhiraha. Here the hridrogam that is explained is a lust. Lust is called as a heart disease. Similarly, hatred is another heart disease. You may wonder how many are there. Mainly two, raga and dvesha. Raga leads to enormous lust, and dvesha leads to enormous hatred. And also, attachment and hatred are two sides of the same coin. They are there in the same heart. You will see Dhritarashtra, for example. He had attachment to Duryodhana. And on the other hand, he had hatred for Bhima. You see that. Similarly, Kaikeyi had attachment to her own son, Bharat, and she had hatred for Rama. She sent him far away. Similarly, King Chitraketu's co-wives, they had attachment to the king. He is our husband, he is not paying attention to us, although we are very attached to him. So they developed hatred for Kritadyuti, who gave rise to the child Harshashoka. Correct, no? So you will see that attachment and hatred go like twins. They go hand in hand like that. And these two are very deep-rooted. When they occupy the heart, they cannot allow a living entity to be peaceful. After that, one's life becomes extremely miserable. And you will see, because of this, Dhritarashtra got destroyed totally. You will see that. He, along with all his 100 sons, the whole dynasty was vanquished. You can see that. Because of this type of Hridaya Daurbalyam, attachment and hatred. So one may wonder, is there a way to know where does it start from, this type of material attachments? And what is the cause of that? It's explained that the aparadas cause the material attachments. So Srila Prabhupada in one purport explains that when one is living in the association of devotees and committing offenses to devotees, then the all-loving Supreme Lord, thinks that, hey, this devotee is committing offenses to other devotees. And offenses are more dangerous than sins. Because sins are on a material platform. Offenses are on a spiritual platform. Therefore, sins are called dhuli lep. Dhuli lep means like a dust in your shirt. You can easily wash it. And offenses are called as vajra lep. They are like taking a hot iron rod and putting a line in your body. It forms a scar for whole life, isn't it? So which is more serious? Offenses. The Lord thinks, this fellow came to do devotion service. but is committing offenses, he is hurting himself more by committing offenses. So Lord takes that fellow out of the Sangha of the devotees and throws him out and plants material desires in his heart so that he can commit sins. You may wonder, really? Lord is planting material desire in my heart to commit sins? Yes, so that you will not commit offenses. So he is helping you to commit something lesser. And why should he allow you to commit sins? Because by committing sins, you will become stupid in material life and you will keep away from devotees. And then when you commit sins, you become repentant. You become remorseful. Then you lament and look back and reflect. Alas, when I was with devotees, what a wonderful devotee I was. Now that I have left the company of devotees, I am helplessly committing sinful activities and I am struggling with my senses. Now there is no other respite, no other shelter for me other than the devotees. Then he rushes to the devotees, falls at their feet in a repentant mood and seeks forgiveness for all his offenses. Then offenses are also dissolved. Then the sins are also eradicated. Then again he becomes a more careful and alert and cautious devotee now. At that time he doesn't commit offenses. In this way, the aparad is the cause of the hridaya daurbalyam. In the example of Dhritarashtra, if you see, what was his offense? If you see, he was attached to a hater of the devotees. Who is the hater of devotee? Duryodhana. Duryodhana is called as Krishna Dvit. Krishna Dvit means he is a hater of Krishna. He hated Krishna and Krishna's devotees. But Dhritarashtra was attached to him. That's a problem. Because His Holiness Navagendra Maharaj was once telling when he came to Pune, he said, the materialistic people are telling you, come to us, we are going to hell, we will also take you to hell. And Krishna's devotees are telling you, we are going back from Bhuloka to Goloka. Come and be with us, then we will take you to Goloka. So Maharaj was telling that depending on whom you associate with, you go to Naraka or you go to Goloka. You have the choice, he said. So, because this fellow, Dhritarashtra, he chose to associate with Duryodhana, therefore the whole dynasty was vanquished. Correct, no? On the other hand, Dhruva Maharaj, you will see, he had a material desire bigger than Dhritarashtra also. Dhritarashtra's desire was only to have an earthly kingdom. Dhruva Maharaj wanted a kingdom bigger than Brahmaji also. So out of the two, whose material desire is more? Dhruva Maharaj. But he got the heart purified because his mother told him, don't hate anyone, including your stepmother. Beta, give up the hatred. Instead, fill up your heart not with hatred. Fill up your heart with remembrance of Vishnu. How to do that, mother? Go to saintly persons. Where do I get the saintly persons? In the forest. So he went to the forest, met the great saint Narada, heard from him Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya mantra, and then followed the procedure of worshipping the deity in the forest. And then in this way, his whole mind and heart became absorbed in the beautiful form of Vishnu, in the name of Vishnu, qualities and activities of Lord Vishnu, pastimes of Vishnu. And the result was, he saw Vishnu eye to eye, and the heart was free from hatred and attachments. Heart became filled with love and devotion. He attained perfection in this world also by becoming a king of the Dhruvaloka. And then at the end of his life, he also could take his mother back home, back to Godhead. How wonderful it is. Dhruva, with a bigger material desire, achieved spiritual success because of taking shelter of a pure devotee Narada and not keeping hatred in the heart, you see. And the other fellow, Dhritarashtra, he was constantly thinking about Pandavas with hatred. So his heart became putrefied, whereas Dhruva's heart became purified, you see. So all of us, we should learn this lesson. Never have hatred for a devotee. Never commit offenses to devotees. Because by such committing offenses, when heart becomes filled with hatred, we cannot attain the ultimate goal of life. Similarly, you will see Saubhari. He is going underwater performing severe meditation. We cannot be underwater more than 2 minutes or 3 minutes. And he is sitting for years underwater performing meditation. But what was his mistake? He made friendship with the fishes. He had bad association of the fishes. And due to that, he offended Garuda. He told Garuda, hey, if you come here to pick up the fishes, your head will crack into 1,000 pieces. Something like that. So Garuda could have retaliated back, but he didn't. Being a Vishnu's bird carrier, he looked at the yogi and said, anyway, he's a yogi. He is in some kind of spiritual line. Let me leave him. He just left him. He left that place. You can see. Huh? So because of offending Lord's personal servant, who is very close associate of the Lord, Saubrimuni fell down. Huh? And then he married 50 daughters of Mandata king. And later on, he came to his senses. Alas, I have wasted my spiritual career. Huh? Now again, he and his wives became devotees of Krishna later on. And they all became purified and then went back to Godhead after that. But it took a long time. Huh? So offenses committed causes spiritual weakness and attachment and hatred in the heart. You can see that. Therefore, the offense, one has to be very alert about the offenses. You may think that, okay, we are in devotee Sangha, we have to be careful with devotees. But Vaishnava Aparadha is one. But there are Nama Aparadhas which are 10, which we recite every day. And Seva Aparadha means, like you are in the deity room, when you are rendering service, one should be careful. Sometimes you are giving the Arati plate, you forgot to keep the conch. Sometimes you are offering bhoga to Krishna, you remove the flute so that he can eat the bhoga, but afterwards you are opening the altar without giving him the flute. Then it becomes Seva Aparadha. Then they have to study one full chapter of Bhagavad Gita. That's the punishment for the pujari. One full chapter they have to read and beg for forgiveness from the Lord. Seva Aparadhas are not that serious. But Vaishnava Aparadha is more serious. And the Nama Aparadha is also serious. Then there is something called Jana Aparadha also. Jana Aparadha means even the common public, you cannot offend them because they are all whose children? Krishna's children. One has to be very careful. Just because we are devotee, we should not have superiority complex. And we should not be proud. And we cannot give them curses or we cannot offend them. One has to be very careful. When Prabhupada chastises the Janta, he is doing with a heart full of compassion. We don't have compassion, we only have passion. So we have to be careful when we are dealing with the public also. Actually, we should deal with the public in a way they will be inclined to become Krishna conscious. They will come. Should we bring them closer to Krishna's lotus feet or drive them away? Closer. In this way, like Dhruva Maharaj was a commoner, a common boy. And his stepmother offended him. Later he became pure devotee. So she got the effect of the mistreatment that she did with Dhruva. Therefore, Prabhupada says we should be careful with all living entities. Anywhere there is Chetan Vastu, even an ant or a mosquito, we have to be very careful. We cannot offend the jivas. So in this way, by carefully avoiding the aparadhas, aparadha means bliss. Aparadha means you become morose if you commit aparadha. Another meaning of aparadha is that which makes you turn away from Radharani. You want to go towards lotus feet of Radharani or go away? So then we should not commit aparadhas. By avoiding aparadhas carefully, then our attachments will be washed away. Attachments and hatred will be washed away from the heart. Heart will become clean. No more envy or desire for fame or kutinati or, hatred or anything like that. When heart becomes clean, then it becomes a suitable residence for Krishna to come and live in our heart. Then we can chant the holy name and become more and more purer and purer. Then very soon the love for Krishna will awaken, and we are seeing that it paves way for going back home, back to Godhead. Harinam Prabhu ki. Let's offer our humble obeisances and to all the Vaishnava devotees of the Lord who are just like desertaries or ocean of mercy, full of compassion for the fallen conditioned souls. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhya eva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Ananta koti Vaishnava vrinda ki, Vaishnava Thakur Srila Prabhupada ki, Namacharya Haridas Thakur ki.